reason is because all the soil that the food supplies are being grown out of, for 99% of the food that you can buy in a store, those topsoils have all been extremely depleted now of minerals for decades, because man has been farming out of the same soil over and over and over and over and over. He's growing the crops out of those same plots of dirt, those same acreages. The minerals have long since been pulled out of that soil and it's missing. So yeah, you can still grow a piece of corn, but it's vitamin and mineral deficient, and then you feed it to the cow, and then the cow's vitamin and mineral deficient for you meat eaters. What I'm saying is the whole food chain that's being sold to you in stores, it's all deficient in the nutrients that are supposed to be in it. So I know we have this fantasy idea of, going back to the imaginary good old days when we just lived off the land and everything was awesome and we were so full of vitality. The truth is, guys, most people didn't live past 30 back then. The first time you had a wisdom tooth infection, you were fucked, We fantasize a lot, like there was some kind of magic period on Earth where everything was great. It was actually just a struggle. And it's not relevant to today because of the depletion of the topsoils. There's a lot of information out there about that. You can Google it and look it up. There's lots of studies. I'm not pulling this out of my butt. It's a real thing. The foods that are being sold in stores are super deficient. And that's why, because we live in an age of supplements, instead of hanging on to a past that's gone, like Grandpa did, you need, my 2 cents is, understand the age you're in and adapt accordingly. That's the best thing to do. Embrace where you really are and educate yourself about where you really are. When you understand these things, then you have better tools to use to compensate, to make up for the fact that the food you eat is empty of a lot of the things it's supposed to have. Okay? So that's the basic reasoning behind that. If you want to expand upon it, we absolutely can. Let me know what you think. And thank you for your questions. Daniel Civi, could you expand on the calories in equals calories out being nonsense? Loving the different views you have on the delivery of knowledge in your videos. Thanks, man. I'd love to expand on that. This is a super important subject because all day long, as I'm scrolling around the internet seeing what's out there, I've seen, countless examples of people saying, it's very, very simple. Calories in, calories out. Okay, it would be that simple if we ignored a whole bunch of things. If we pretended that you and me and every single one of these completely different snowflakes walking around had the exact same kind of metabolism, the exact same genetic ancestry, the exact same energy levels in their nervous system, their heart rate was the same, their lifestyle was the same, their way of thinking was the same, their hormone levels were the same. If everything was the same in us and all these different systems of our physiology and we were all drone robots that were the same, then that would work. The exact amount of food calories you put into one unit would have the exact same effect as the next unit. However, we're all completely different. Some people have one type of metabolism, some people have a different type of metabolism, some people it's over here, some people it's over there. Your hormone levels are affected by what you eat, for example. Let's just take one small example here. What happens when hormones change? Body composition changes. What the calories are being used for changes, right? Now, every system in your body is different than the next person. So to pretend that the same amount of calories in the same sources of food is going to do the same thing to you that it will to me, that's pretend. That's a fantasy. That's an oversimplification for people who want to sell 10-step processes to people who believe in stuff like that. Somebody's selling something, and it's nonsense. If you observe your own life, you'll find that you can eat certain types of foods and eat more calories of those and actually get leaner than other types of foods where you could eat less calories and get fatter, for example. Who hasn't noticed this effect? What does that tell you? Calories in, calories out? We're not even talking about what kind of calories? That's ridiculous. How about we just eat cardboard and call it calories and see what happens? There's a million variables here, just like with everything else. So to pretend that it's as simple as calories in and calories out, all I can say is somebody's trying to sell you a 10-step process or some ebook or some nonsense if they're saying that, okay? They're not being real. They're not being real. They're treating you like a simple-minded, dumbed-down sheep creature And personally, I find it fucking insulting. You're smarter than that. We're all smarter than that. Just give yourself permission to think for yourself, and you realize that shit doesn't make any sense. Do you think if you eat 1,200 calories of sugar powdered donuts, and then another, let's say we cloned you, okay? We cloned your body into like 4 copies, and one of them we gave 1,000 calories of sugar powder, and one of them we gave 1,000 calories of lard, and one of them we gave 1,000 calories of pure branched chain amino acids, and one of them we gave 1,000 calories of, I don't know, dog shit. Do you think that those, and we did this every day for 30 days, let's say, that's all they ate. Do you think their body composition and measurements on the scale and the way they look and all that would be the same after those 30 days? It's 1,000 calories in each case, right? They'd all look completely different. Their hormones would be all completely different. Their health would be all over the place. Their vitality levels, their metabolism, the speed at which their thyroid gland is working, which speeds up how fast you burn or don't burn calories. This is affected by your minerals and the other things in your diet, the speed of your metabolism. So think about it, man. Calories in, calories out, that's ridiculous. Unless we're all machine robots, that simplified, dumbed down formula, it really doesn't mean shit in the real world, okay? You learning to master your own personal body, priceless. All the rest of this simplified crap people sell you, I don't want to call it names, but yeah, hopefully that's enough. Let me know what you think. Good question, though. All right. Stefan Durpa. I went through the book Renegade Diet a couple years ago, and it was about intermittent fasting. Tried it then and it was really good. Adapted to not eating for 18 to 20 hours very first day, and the energy was awesome. I might return to it one day when I get it worked in with my schedule and more complete food mix for the eating window. Okay, well that's just a comment, no question. Right on, man. Right on. If you're feeling it, if you're feeling motivated, if you remember that you felt better that way, absolutely, man. Care enough about yourself to use that to benefit your life, you know. Prioritize it, because you matter. I know society's distracting us all the time. Sometimes we think we don't even have time to, do the things we know are good for us, but you do, and you're worth it, and your life's worth it. So any tool you've become aware of that does benefit you in some way, my advice, and again, nobody has to ever do anything I say. I just share from the heart, shoot from the hip. I'd say do it, so right on. Okay, Legendary JX. How many calories do you consume while intermittent fasting? If your body is more efficient while intermittent fasting, how do you calculate the calories needed to gain weight? Okay, good questions. Yesterday when I did my diet video, when I was doing kind of the rough math of what I kind of normally eat, it fluctuates a little. It seemed like I must be getting close to 4,000 calories in my 4-hour window in the evening. Now, I don't measure and calculate really, I just observe. I just watch my body. Alright, that's all you gotta do. If you're getting a little pudgier, cut out something unnecessary. Cut out some of the fats or cut out some of the carbs. If you're shrinking, if you're too skinny or whatever, you can try adding in different things and see what happens. Play with the ratios of things, Add 50 grams of protein a day and do that for a month. Don't change anything else. See what happens. And then try something else, Drop the protein back where it was. Add in 50 grams of healthy fats, healthy oils a day, And observe and just see what happens, okay? That's how I do it. I just adjust and observe. It's like a carburetor or a thermostat or something. I'm just turning it a little bit one way and watching. If I'm getting leaner, it's like, okay. But I don't try to do anything too fast. I don't, you try to lose too much weight too fast, you're going to lose muscle because you're just, starving yourself or whatever. You try to gain too much too fast, you just gain fat, the whole bulking thing. Unless you're on insulin and growth hormone and steroids and all this stuff that these guys who put down food like that and it actually turns into muscle, overdoing the eating is just going to make you fatter. So I just make small adjustments and watch what's happening, okay? It's simpler that way. I don't need fancy scales and math charts and stuff. In different seasons, your body is going to be a little bit different anyway, because your mind is different, your hormones are different, you know. So just observe and adjust. That's the way I do it anyway. Thank you for the questions. Okay, it looks like I might have answered most of the ones I fell behind on now. Alright, good. I think I got the basic questions covered for now. So later today there might be more videos about this or that, maybe some demonstration videos, I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know how that worked for you, and let's go from there. Thanks for the questions and comments. May the force be with you all.